Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Machogu now says the ministry will extend the length of the school term to make up for the time lost during the flooding crisis. Machogu says the extension will be necessary to enable coverage of the curriculum. He, however, says that some of the schools destroyed by floods may not reopen next week, even as the government indicated it is making arrangements to accommodate the affected learners in other institutions to allow for rehabilitation works of the destroyed classrooms. Brenda Wanga has more.
The rush to get learning institutions ready for reopening on Monday is on. Classrooms, staff rooms and everything in between affected by the heavy rains and flooding in some schools need to be cleaned up and prepared before learners show up. The government determined that this is the case when Monday, the 13th, comes around the corner.
So you should be able to open schools on Monday so that the normal running activity can be able to continue.
The impact of the flooding, however, goes beyond the infrastructure damage. The school calendar will also be affected well into the second term and the accompanying August holidays. This, the CS says, is to ensure that the national examinations for grade 6 and Form 4 candidates are not interfered with.
It's only 2 weeks. We will be able to look at it, particularly those who are in Form 4, and see how we can be able to recover by probably extending a few days, because they were expected to close down the schools in August for 3 weeks. So we might minimize the number of days that schools will be closed down in the month of August, so that whatever was supposed to be covered in the syllabus and the curriculum can be recovered during that particular time.
On Wednesday, the government, on advice from the Meteorological Department and other security organs, okayed the resumption of learning 2 weeks after the date slated for the official opening. That postponement had been occasioned by the damage visited on school infrastructure and safety concerns for learners. The government says aside from restoring the damaged classrooms and other buildings through the 1 billion shillings released for the same through the CDF, it is also keen on ensuring that the safety of children is guaranteed.
Where there are rivers which would also pose a challenge passing through as they go to school, the respective communities and the port of management have also been informed to advise as appropriate, so that where there is danger, we can be able to have mitigating measures taken into consideration. So that
Interior CS Raymond Omolo, while on a tour of Bungoma County, assured that national government administration officers and regional and county education officers were monitoring the school situations countrywide.
That are affected, we are talking of 1,957 schools, just slightly below 2,000 schools. And we have put in place enough mechanisms to allow our students to resume their learning.
The reassurances notwithstanding, the Education Ministry admits that not all schools will be opening on Monday. Some schools in 7 counties, including Kisumu, Homa Bay, Tana River, Garissa, Migori and Lamu, have been adversely affected to the point of being unable to take in learners on Monday.
And when I say badly affected, are those that some of them you will get that 100% of the toilets have sunk, have collapsed, such that because we don't have toilet facilities, it might pose a serious challenge for us to have students in those particular schools. But as I've said,
some schools, however, will need more help than others, especially those where learning material was destroyed by the floods, such as this school in Mathare. The school desperately trying to salvage the textbooks that survived the floods. The ministry says it will provide new books to ensure that learning is not disrupted. Brenda Wanga,